This episode of Checking In With is sponsored by Pizza Packet. Enjoyed by millions nationwide, Pizza Packet provides portion-controlled, prepackaged spice and Parmesan packets. Made with only premium quality ingredients, Pizza Packet is the most convenient and most cost-effective way to provide added value to your customers. During these challenging times, every penny counts. Pizza Packet saves you time and money and is a much more hygienic and sanitary option over dirty shakers. Check out pizzapacket.com for all of your packaging needs.
Welcome back to another episode of Checking In. I'm Josh Keown, Creative Director at Pizza Today. Joining me along for the ride is our Executive Editor, Denise Greer. What's up, Denise?
Hello, how is everyone?
Today we are joined by Piper Kapin of Backroad Pizza in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Piper, it is an absolute pleasure to have you on the show today. How are things in Santa Fe besides being probably extremely hot?
Yeah, and weird. There you go.
I was going to say hot and weird is pretty much what's going on. We're actually having an overcast day today, which is enjoyable. But yeah, very hot, super weird, ever changing as everybody is dealing with right now. We just got some new orders from our governor this week that's flipping everyone around again. So
what are those new orders? Or where do you guys, I mean, where were you at like currently, and then with the new orders, what do you have to transition to?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I'll preface it by saying restaurants started being allowed to be open first for patio 50% about, I think maybe like a month ago, and then dine-in 50%. And I chose to do neither. So all of that, all the dine-in just got shut down last week again. And people are still allowed to have 50% patio, but we have chosen to not do that. So it's actually not affecting me.
So you're just doing carry out and delivery right now?
Well, not even delivery for our, like we have third party deliveries that we're not contracted with any of them, but some of them will order from us anyway. We have a local one here that I guess you can call and order whatever you want. So we're not tied to them, but they can pick up from us. And so we're really just doing 100% no contact curbside pickup and have been since, I don't remember, February?
March-ish.
March-ish. March-ish, yeah.
It's been a long road.
Yeah, it's amazing. So it's worked super well for us, and I felt like not ready to open at all.
Yeah.
So,
now I know because I've been to your place, and you are primed for takeout. Are they actually allowed in your building, or are you running it from the front part of your building?
Yeah, we're just doing out the door. So nobody's coming into our restaurant at all. We have one of our sliding glass doors on the front of our restaurant that we have now. We put a stainless table out front, and everything goes out on the table. People pull up. We found this really great way to do texting with people. Which has been awesome, and we'll definitely keep moving forward. And then, so they pull up, they text us, they get an auto text back asking them to stay in their car. And then once their order comes up, we text them and put their order right out on the table. So one customer is coming to the table at a time, which helps with the social distancing thing. And yeah, it actually has been great.
Yeah. Now you are doing grocery items as well. Are you still doing that? And how successful is that for you?
It's pretty great. I secretly have always wanted to have like a little grocery thing going on. So this is like ended up being an opportunity. But yeah, we have about 45 items now that the grocery's grown to. It started with customers just asking if we had yeast, right? Everybody's became a home baker, which is very charming. And so some regulars are like, hey, can we get yeast? Is there any yeast? There's no yeast in the stores here. And then I was like, yeah, we have yeast. We can start doing that. So we did that a little bit. And then people were asking for flour. And it was just like this snowball. And I posted, we have a couple of really active Facebook group community pages in Santa Fe here. And I just posted a post way back that was like, hey, what do y'all want? What do you need? At that point, things were just chaos. Like the grocery store shelves were really empty, long lines, everybody was adjusting. So we just really quickly like threw a shelf up front and I started diving deep into our vendor catalog. which was weird and cool, and found a bunch of stuff that we could sell that was like, you know, already small, essentially like retail size.
Right.
So we break down big bags of flour and cornmeal and sugar and salt and all that stuff, but otherwise we've just found a bunch of other items that people seem pretty happy with.
So how are people ordering those? Are they, are they doing that via your website as well, or are they just kind of like calling in saying, hey, do you guys got this? How's that working?
We have it all on our online ordering, which has been great. I mean, it wasn't exactly what the POS wanted to do.
Right.
It took a little finessing, and it's not totally ideal, but they can do either. Essentially, it's all listed on the online ordering menu, and then if they want to call and talk to us about it, we can do it over the phone. So we're doing 100% payment. Either if they call in, they have to pay us over the phone. Other than, super necessities, we're really trying not to even take cash in.
Yeah.
Minimize that exchange. So they either pay over the phone with a credit card, or they do the online ordering, and we have it split up to 2 separate printers. So the grocery orders go to the front, and the kitchen gets the kitchen stuff, and then we merge them and put them out. It's pretty cool. It's actually made up a good portion of what we've lost with alcohol sales.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
And the margins are kind of similar, so it's worked out for us.
Are they doing alcohol takeout? Are they doing alcohol to takeout in New Mexico? No.
No,
I have tried. Oh, I've tried. Me and the director of alcohol and gaming of New Mexico have exchanged a lot of emails. They called a special session here, and it was on the docket to get talked about, but it didn't. So it didn't make it. So maybe next round of things. It would be huge for all the restaurants here, because in New Mexico, I think every state, I know every state has different licensing. If in New Mexico, there's a restaurant license, which is a beer and wine only, no takeout, and it has to be under a pretty small percentage of your sales.
Okay.
So once you tip over, you end up needing to get a liquor license, and it's more like a bar numbers. So you have to be really careful about that, which we're nowhere near. But it hurts to lose that for sure. And it would be every day we have people asking, they know we've got tons of taps. Can we get growlers? Can we get this? Can we get that? I'm like, I wish. So we're still pushing for that. And anytime I get the ear of anybody in the media, I mention it. So
as you should. I mean, that's a big part of your business, and there's really no problem with it. So I mean, and a lot of other states have already adopted it, so it's there.
It's there. That's what I've said. I'm like, the legislation's been written elsewhere. You just need to copy it. And, the last few years, New Mexico's gotten some actually pretty awesome local breweries and distilleries and wineries going. We're a little behind, but even if it was all local New Mexico stuff that we could study, it would help us, the distributor and the producer. So it's 3 industries that they could be helping. Yeah. So hopefully at some point.
I remember when we came out there, you had a lot of made-in-house items in a refrigerator that you were selling. Like, I think you were even selling your pizza dough. Is that something you're capitalizing during this time as well? Like with this, I think I remember salad dressings and dough balls.
Yes. Yeah, you have a good memory. Our grab and go case is essentially gotten folded into the grocery offerings. So we added pizza kits, formal pizza kits. So before it was a little bit piecemeal, right? So the dough was in the grab and go, and then they could order sauce and they could order cheese. Now we started making little pizza kits, both for kids, like our cutie pies, which is our kid size, which are adorable, and then standard size. So those have been they've been a great sales item, and then they've been really fun because we've really capitalized on the social media part of that. And we have people send pictures, and then we post them. It's been a fun one. So that's still cranking. All of those things are available, plus some.
Did you tweak your menu any? Have you added any items? Or of course you added the pizza kits, but did you tweak your menu items like we can't serve this on takeout or whatnot? So
yeah, we did a pretty major haircut right when this happened. I went from 5 sizes of pizza to 3. We just took out 2 sizes right away. I lost about 7 people for various reasons, not to COVID, like as being sick, but for various reasons right when this started. They had family members that were at risk, and so they had to, not be working and bunch of things. So we had this really skinny crew, and I was like, I got to make this super efficient.
Yeah.
And it ended up working great. I mean, we went through and took out essentially all the things that were super labor intensive, which is a lot because we make almost everything from scratch. But we just gave everything a big haircut. I don't do sandwiches right now. We took off all our combos, stuff like that. So we're really just focusing on pizza, salads, our soups, and then all the grocery and grab and go.
Most efficient items.
Yeah, just like get it out.
Yeah, I remember that soup you had with the chilies.
Chilies, yeah.
Yeah, the green chilies. That's the one thing I remember is that you had a pizza that had dynamite green chilies. Are you having any trouble sourcing chilies or any of your other? Because I know you do a lot of local ingredients. Are you having any trouble sourcing ingredients right now?
We haven't had too much issue with the local stuff, actually. I think a lot of our ranchers that we work with here and stuff are having an abundance. Honestly, there's been so many restaurants that closed that, they have a lot. And now that we're in the growing season, things like that are available. We definitely got put through the ringer just on regular big things. Cheese, our custom pizza boxes got, the PO for those got canceled. So all of a sudden we had generic boxes, which wasn't my favorite. Everything. I mean, it felt like every time I went to do an order, we order twice a week from our big vendors. And it felt like every time it was like, yeah, this is out. What do we want to sub with? And it was hard.
A lot of improvising.
A lot of improvising. And at some point you have to kind of go to bat because your brand is, you can't change my flour, my sauce, my tomatoes and my cheese.
Right.
Please. I mean, it was hard. So there was a lot of trying to be flexible. And then, when you need to dig in and fight for something, you do. And we modified. There were times like weird things, our pesto, we couldn't make that. We didn't have something that would come in with that. There were just certain things. So we did, we tried to be as flexible as we could.
As far as staffing goes, I know you said you lost quite a few in the beginning of that. Has anybody trickled back in, or are you guys at a pretty good spot right now? How's that working?
Yeah, we've had a couple people trickle back. They just needed to take a break and sort of see what was real about this. A couple of them have come back, but honestly, we're running a much smaller crew right now, just fine, and it's great. I mean, our labor costs are down, which is nice, and shrinking all the menu items and the big prep items down, cut hours off of prep. So it's good. We have a couple nights when we're really going that we're back up to the amount of people that we had originally. But just because now we need 2 or 3 people up front, which we didn't used to have our counter service. So we have a couple new people, I guess, which has also been nice. And we're cruising now. My crew has been amazing. They've been really dedicated and really willing to lock it down when they're outside of work and understand that they have to be even more careful because for us to be safe together in the space, everybody has to really participate when they're not at work. So they've been good about that.
That's fantastic.
And I know that you set up a really neat leadership model with your team. It's definitely different than we see a lot. And I do remember that and I remember the photo of your team together. I loved your team, just so cohesive. Yeah, I should say. Have you been able to keep that cohesiveness during such a hard time?
Yeah. I mean, my team is great. I think there's been, not exactly the same group as when you were here. Oh, did we say that was 2017? Yeah.
I looked back. It was actually 2014.
What?
Yeah.
I know.
Hey.
Every pizzeria we go to feels like just like 2 or 3 years ago when it was like, oh, that was 10 years ago. So it's, yeah.
Yeah, the time's just like flipping by. Yeah, I mean, what I did put in place since you were here was a full GM position. I have a little kiddo now, and wanted to, yeah, it was great. And when that happened, I was like, I'm out. I need to, like, he's only going to be this little for now. So I had the opportunity, and it was someone from within the shop was ready to step up and get mentored and trained. So he was unfortunately one of the people that I lost during COVID due to some family stuff. But we do still have the, I think, unique leadership model, but it's probably heading more towards a traditional, a little more traditional in an untraditional way, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
And community was so big with you guys. I mean, I just remember all the events you were having, and like now you have your food truck, and is your food truck still operating right now? Are you able to get out with your food truck?
Not, we haven't. I mean, it was sad actually. We had like a number of weddings that were confirmed for this summer, and last year was our kind of biggest year with the food truck. And so this year started out with a lot on the calendar, and, all the events are canceled. People had to cancel their wedding. It was sad. It was, so I've chosen not to take it out. I mean, we could legally go out, but I just don't, I don't see a way it would be safe necessarily right now. And because the shop was doing so well, and I, it's advertising us right now. It's parked out in front of the restaurant. So when people come to pick up the food, they can see where we are. But yeah, we've gotten a couple calls. There's a few places here that are starting to try to organize things like drive-in movies, which I think is a really fun,
it's a great idea. Yeah.
way to cope with what's going on. How to do a food truck at one of those is a little bit of a question mark, but I am in some conversations with those organizers to see if we can do like a texting.
Right. It seems like text would work there too,
Yeah. So it's just a lot at once. So we're open to it, but I'm not in a big rush.
At the shop, have your sales been up, down, or about the same as before COVID-19?
We've had some like record-breaking sales.
Wow.
In the beginning, I'd say all through the end of March, April, and May, we were like busting through records that we've had. And were you having that crazy Friday night that I keep hearing about? Like everybody's Friday nights were just insane. Yeah, it was painful, to say the least. The other thing that was happening is that, so many more people were using our online ordering system, which was great because it was either that or the phones. And that's frustrating because, we were trying to move people towards the online thing. Right. But in our particular online ordering system, there wasn't a way to throttle how many orders would come in. So everybody wants food at 5:30 and then at 6. Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh my God, the thing just starts printing at 4. And we're still struggling with that a little bit. I mean, we've figured out some workarounds, but Fridays have been crazy. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, actually, we're all like pretty high volumes. And then honestly, once we started the grocery and that picked up, it was adding, 20% to every day we were doing in that, which was huge. So
that's your alcohol sales right there, basically.
Yeah, it was amazing and so easy. I mean, it was just like, like pack some boxes and off they go. Yay. Once other restaurants reopened here, we kind of plateaued back to what we kind of should or would be projected to be doing this time of year, which is great. So we're happy with that. And then now as the roller coaster and yo-yoing is happening, we're going back up again right now. So.
All right, Piper. Well, thanks for joining us today and letting us in on kind of what's going on with you guys and whatnot. So it sounds like things are going pretty good. Yeah, we're making it. We're making it.
I'm grateful to still be cruising along. It's definitely exhausting and kind of emotionally. I think everyone's hitting an emotional
it's a roller coaster.
exhaustion just after 6 months and trying to figure out like, is it going to be like this for a while? Is it not going to be like this for, but we're okay overall. Everyone's healthy.
Good deal. Well, we hope to see you at Pizza Expo.
Yeah, we can't
wait
to see the next Pizza Expo at some point.
Whenever that is.
I always look forward to that. You guys stay safe.
Stay safe. Thank you.
Take care. Thank
Bye.
you.